What's up, everybody? It's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and in this video we're going to be playing through another episode of Outlaws. That was the ending cutscene from the previous episode where we saw the main antagonist separate his train car from ours and take off with the protagonist's daughter. And so here's our protagonist sleeping here in a canyon, having a little dream flashback. And it's kind of hard to tell exactly what's all happening in this particular flashback. But you can see here that he's trying to pick up a gun and that he is a child trying to shoot this older guy, pointing a gun at another older guy. So you can see here that he can't actually end up pulling the trigger. And now he hears a gunshot, and this is where this level is going to start. Now this level is by far the largest level that we've played through so far, at least, total area wise. And because of that, it makes for some great sniping scenarios. Now, there are a lot of ways that you can go in this level that are kind of dead ends. For example, if you go up on this big old path that you see over to the left and right, there's actually nothing up there except for ammo. But I'm actually doing pretty well on ammo right now, so I'm not going to go up there. I'm going to go into the canyon, and this is where we are going to eventually find all of the bad guys that we are going to have to fight through and stuff. But like I said, this level is very big and very spread out. And because of that, you do get to use the scoped rifle quite a bit. That's not saying that there won't be any close combat scenarios, but most of the scenarios that you run into in this particular level, you can definitely attempt to take on from a distance. Now you can go up to that waterfall over there on the left and get a scope for your rifle, which is very important if you don't yet have one, or you need another one because you died or something like that. But I currently have one, so we're not going to head up there. That's actually one of the more difficult areas in the map. But if you don't have a rifle scope, it'd probably be prudent to try to fight through that and then get yourself a rifle scope, because it will make all of these areas a lot easier. Now, when enemies are really far away, you do have to shoot a little bit above them with the rifle scope in order to hit them. I guess somehow they accounted for bullet drop in the game, and that's really cool. I found that to be pretty entertaining. That's something that I wouldn't really expect from a game this old, but it's pretty cool. If enemies are really high above you as well, that's when you have to adjust your aim a little bit higher as well. So if they're high above you and far away, it may seem like you have to shoot pretty far above their actual person in order to get it to hit them, and that's kind of neat. If they're relatively close though, you can definitely still hit them by having the cursor on them, so that's kind of cool as well. So as you can see, we're just kind of traversing our way up the waterway right now, and you do kind of have to fight through a bunch of enemies if you don't use the rifle scope to pick them off, around every corner. But if you use the rifle scope, most of the time you'll be able to just kind of run through areas after you've cleared them. There aren't too many hidden enemies. You can see most of them from a ways away, which is nice. That guy was hiding, but I knew where he was hiding, so I decided to pick him off with a shotgun shot there. So this is a little bit difficult. You have to kind of jump into that hole, or that waterfall will push you all the way back pretty close to where you started the level. So that's not really exactly where you want to be. Not all the way back to the start, I would say, but I forget exactly where it lands you, but either way, basically there are a couple instances here where if you don't make a particular jump or something, that you'll get pushed all the way back to a previous pseudo checkpoint or fork in the road, I guess. And because that one I think pushes you back all the way to where I was talking about you could get that rifle scope, and that's obviously not where you want to be. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and collect some more stuff here. Another sheriff's badge. Again, I'm not really sure what those do. I could probably look it up on the internet, but I truly don't know what they do. I like collecting them though. Alright, so here's an area where if you don't know which way to go, you could definitely get lost. So in here, it's a big, kind of dark area, and it would seem like, you would probably want to stay on this path and follow it all the way to the end where those enemies were. But in reality, you want to go over here through this little cave. And this will actually get you to where you're going. Otherwise, you'll be up too high to get to where you're going, and you'll be able to see these guys down here eventually. But if you jump down to some of them, you'll die. And so that's not what you want. That's not an ideal scenario there for you. but we're eventually going to head over there to the left. I do want to kill some of these enemies over here on the right, though, because they are kind of guarding some ammo, and I don't want to get too low on rifle ammo because, obviously, it's been very helpful thus far. Alright. So there's going to be another guy out here, and like I said, this level in particular is great if you do enjoy the sniping aspect of the game. We shot that guy there, and I wasn't really close enough to hear him scream when he fell off the canyon, but he does fall off the canyon and scream and stuff, and his voice makes a little Doppler effect. It's kind of cool. Anywho, now we're going to go way over here and see the wind tunnel. And so you'll see the arrow made of rocks that I just jumped over just a moment ago, and it's pointing to a big ol' waterfall, and we'll get to that in just a second. But if we come over here, wait for my stamina to recover just a bit, we'll see that there's one enemy. Or I guess there's not one enemy right here, but there are several enemies across the way. And you'll hear a very strong wind gust as well. And I'll show this to you here. Because if we try to jump across this, what appears to be a bottomless pit, it pushes us back to where we were. And so we can't go that way. And as a kid, I spent a long time trying to figure out which way to go, because I didn't want to jump into this waterfall. I thought it would kill me. There's actually a little sign there that says Dead Man's Leap. But if you jump in it and you hit the water, you'll be just fine, which is pretty damn cool. And it's a big jump, and, you know, it's pretty neat. But now, we have to figure out a way in order to get to some air here, because obviously we've been underwater for a little bit. You can see our air bar going down. And they do have a little rest area here for you to gain just a little bit of health if you needed it. There's an elixir bottle up here. I guess that's not a little bit of health. That's as much health as you need. But also a little bit of sniper ammo or rifle ammo, I guess. And also, the most important part is getting health there, or air there, excuse me. And so we'll go up here, kill a few guys, and then we'll eventually get to the boss of the level. But there is one very important jump that you have to make, and I'll show that to you guys. Because if you don't make that, you have to jump off the waterfall again, or jump into the waterfall again, and it can make the level very, very difficult, or at least very time consuming, because you'll be doing that same thing over and over again. And it's a pretty easy jump to miss. So we'll head that way now, and as you can see right now, we're just going through a bunch of these waterways. There was that one lone cowboy there. This is a water chute that pushes us pretty far up, and now, you know, that gives you the indication that somehow this water was taking you up to kind of where you were. And so this is that jump I was talking about. Up there above this area that I'm looking into is where we were, and try to jump into the wind tunnel without it letting us across. So what I do is I crouch, I look down, and I move across. I don't jump at all, and the wind will carry you straight into that hole if you're lucky. And then once you're up here, you're pretty close to where the bad guys are. See, that area right back there was where we had shot all of those guys. Do not jump across that, otherwise you'll have to work your way all the way back here, which does take a little bit of time. So now here's one of the more dangerous parts of the level, because they have this kind of hidden hole right here, and if you fall down that hole, you're dead. The drop is such that it will kill you. And then as you walk across the bridge here, you kind of have to be careful, because the wind will try to push you off to the left, and I believe if you fall that way, you die as well. So be very careful about this. Once you get past that little wall, the wind will start pushing you, and you need to be careful about that. And I thought that that was a pretty entertaining way to kill the player at the very end of the level. Like, it might not be expected, but you can definitely hear the wind and stuff. And so this is kind of the boss's lair that we're getting into now. You can see that first enemy dropped an elixir, and there's going to be several enemies in here, including a boss with dual pistols. And luckily for us, his pistols aren't that accurate at range, and if you're far enough away, he won't even really engage you. And so that's pretty cool about using the rifle. We'll be able to pick off this boss from a distance. There's another way to do it. You can try to get close enough to him from behind to hit him with the shotgun. And if you're careful and he doesn't see you, you take the right route, you can definitely do that as well. But it'll be a little bit easier for us to just pick him off with the rifle, I believe. And so that's what we'll do. But as you can see, there are a bunch of guys in here. So, don't run headlong into this area, because if you get them all moving around and stuff, they will try to take you out. And so the boss is over there kind of behind that rock on the right. You can see there on the map that we're pretty close to the end of the cavern here. So I was just trying to isolate exactly where he was so that I could, get a good shot on him and kill him here. Now, he will move around if you piss all the other enemies off enough that they all start moving around and yelling and stuff. But if you pick all of them off with a rifle, he'll kind of stay still, and then you can pick him off with a rifle as well. And so we're going to finish him off here, and he's going to tell us that it's going to take more than bullets to get what we want. But then he dies without really giving us any information, which is kind of a shame. But that's okay. Apparently we knew where to go somehow. And so we're headed up to this sawmill now, and this is where the next level is going to take place. And this particular level has quite a few puzzles and stuff in it, and so I'm excited for that episode as well. I do thank you guys for watching this series, especially those of you who have requested the next episode. I do appreciate it. As always, thanks for watching, and I do hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.
Boys, did I tell you how much I hate lawmen?